sports fans, and welcome to another episode of SPNation. Good evening, everyone, and happy Payday Friday. I hope you guys are okay. I hope you guys are not stuck in traffic. But please join us in today's episode, and I'm so excited to welcome you because we have two guests with us here today. Allow me to introduce them. First, I have here basketball analyst and my dear friend, Juan Banal.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Payday, sana we can have a taste of that kind of benefit. Good to see everyone. It's an exciting episode. I can't wait for you to introduce our special guest.
Yes, of course, we have our special guest. Allow me to introduce 12-time PBA champion.
Let's go.
My idol, JDB Joe Devon. Welcome to SPNation.
Thank you, Ari. You know, just really quick before we start, I apologize because I have a horrible memory, but when you showed me, before we got on live, she showed me this picture of us, of my last championship, and kind of the story behind it, and it just, to hear your story, no, really, it really does, it means a lot to me that we have a history.
Yeah.
And no, that means so much to me that even for you to call me your idol just gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
That means a lot, so I thank you for that.
I'm so happy I'm able to say it, to share this stage with you again.
That's crazy.
I never thought that I would encounter having you with me.
I mean, nobody thought that Joe would be back.
Yeah. Surprise.
Let alone play a finals series. But then, so I'm assuming, Joe, the last picture that you had together in a championship game won't be the last time we're probably gonna see you in a championship game.
And guys, I took another selfie with him right before the show started, so I'm going to upload those two together.
Oh, there you go.
I'm back.
Please
We're back.
Yes,
we
are
saw
back.
each other again. Okay, guys, are you ready to elevate your sports experience? Then let's dive into the world of live sports like never before with Sports Plus PH. So whether you guys are a die-hard fan or you just simply love the thrill of the game, we've got you guys covered. So register now at Sports Plus PH. So we have three very exciting topics that we are going to talk about for today's episode. The first one is the 2-minute fight sessions in order to boost the NBA ratings. Interesting. Do you guys agree or disagree? We'll find out later in a bit. Second topic, who is the better freak? Is it Giannis or Wemby? Ayan. And of course, we're going to have a quick NBA recap, and syempre hindi mawawala yung ating SPNation expert picks. So those are the things that we are going to talk about for today's episode. I'm so excited. Let's get this one started. First topic, 2-minute fight sessions in order to boost NBA ratings, or just to have it in general during games. You can talk about having it in the NBA or talk about having it in the PBA. Are you for it or against it?
Well, it's funny because obviously it's gonna come from somebody like DeMarcus Cousins to say something like that. Like, it was his opinion to say that we should have that hockey 2-minute fight brawl and just get it off their chest, and that's exactly what he said. And it's funny because that's DeMarcus, right? And I don't think he represents the general opinion of everyone, right? And I personally don't condone violence, so I'm not, approve of something like that. And if your goal is to just boost NBA ratings, I think there are other ways to do it. The PBA tried being creative by that 4-point line. And I don't know, I think it did help because it was talked about by a lot of people.
It made it exciting.
So fighting is not just for me, but again, this is DeMarcus. But there are days though, like Joe, as an athlete, I know there are a lot in his PBA history that at some point, one of the famous brawls I think that happened, you were kind of part of that. Maybe something that you'd like to forget.
But
it is just, I mean, you're talking about alpha males playing a sport that's physical. Eventually, they're gonna, brush some elbows against each other, and sometimes it leads to brawls, right? But this is kind of like legalizing fights, you know, like making it seem like it's cool. And so it's the kind of message that you send. I don't know the justification of the NFL to NHL rather, to allow these fights, but in other sports there are no gloves, there's no padding, like there are no helmets.
NHL actually they have their gloves,
that's right.
and then when it's time to fight, they throw them off.
Right?
So that's pretty intense.
So I don't know how. I mean, we've seen more physical sports like rugby, where people are just bleeding and it's fine, right? It's so normal. But this one, to actually legalize something just to boost ratings. Again, it's DeMarcus Cousins, just to put it in context. Si DeMarcus Cousins po kasi ang nagsabi, di ba? Parang, I don't know, I don't want to name somebody in the PBA or somebody that's famous for fights, and it's just natural for them to probably say something like this. So it's the same case. So, but generally, I don't think it's the same sentiment that is representing everyone's opinion, especially in the sport. So, Joe, I mean, you as an athlete.
I mean, what's the idea behind it? Are they gonna go in the middle of the court and then just straight throw bows?
How is it
what
gonna
I mean?
go?
How's that gonna go?
I mean, because in the NHL, the referees literally allow them to, they give them time and airtime to do it.
I mean, it is pretty cool to watch on hockey, but I mean, in the NBA or even the PBA, I just don't see it happening. It would be exciting. I would just say, just fight.
What if it's not to boost ratings, but what if it's just to let off the steam?
Okay, number one, because you're dealing with guys with so much adrenaline.
Testosterone.
Testosterone, right? They probably want that. But here's the question though. I applaud the NHL players for having that maturity that after that fight, that fist fight, everything's like, we're all cool, we're good, we can walk off, and then everything's back to normal. Number one, in the Philippines, I don't think we're mature enough to let that go.
Right.
Like, we're too emotional, we're too invested. When after that fist fight, I lost, bro, I'm gonna come back. I'll see you outside.
Or just,
in the
tunnel, fight in the tunnel.
So I don't think we're mentally, I mean, probably even in the NBA, I think the NBA players are also paid high enough to not get injured when they get into a fist fight. So they're taking care of themselves. Right? The incidental, accidental fist fights, if they could avoid it, it's just, they would. But because they're taking care of their bodies too much, I don't think they're going to let this happen.
No, you got to think I'm pretty sure LeBron wouldn't be the one fighting, but just say LeBron and whoever, John Morant, right? I mean, one hit can literally
knock him out.
So I mean, it just wouldn't make any sense, and it's too dangerous. How about wrestling?
Yeah, same.
How about wrestling?
But
what kind of wrestling? WWE wrestling, and they can fake it out?
Oh, that's better ratings. Better ratings,
true,
right? So
and it's going to change so much about basketball in terms of training and practice, because if they do allow this one, then the basketball trainings would look different, because they have to learn a little bit of boxing. Because if it happens, they have to get back in the game.
To fight. You better learn to fight.
Because what if you get knocked out and then you can't go back to the game?
And it's possible, but it's interesting because I don't think NHL players rehearse this or practice this. I think they just give them airtime to fight, and to get it off their chest. And because the NHL is more, I would say, more physical than basketball or NBA, because they're allowing all the shoves and the banging on the walls, and so it's just a different dynamics, right? Because we've seen it also in rugby sports that they get physical, but they don't allow punching and all that.
Right.
Yeah, tricky.
And in order to save the sport itself, it's gonna ruin the entire game. So when they start fighting, when they start throwing punches, is everyone just gonna back off and just allow them to fight for 2 minutes?
I mean, basically, it's probably not gonna happen, more than likely. But what can the NBA do?
That's right.
To boost their ratings, so that's the question.
The 82 games in a season, I think in the NBA, some people find it, boring, quote unquote, only because of the length, right? And that's why the in-tournament, the in-season tournament, they came up with that concept, but it did make it exciting because you have short-term winners, and there's a cash prize that goes along. Right. But I have to applaud. Initially, the PBA was criticized for the 4-point line, but it did make waves. It did make the news. It did bring in rating. It did bring in a different feel of the sport because it has won games. right? And it's very difficult to win games. You know, it's not the easiest thing in the world.
I mean, I've seen it. I've been a part of games where Justin Brownlee's hitting back-to-back 4-point shots, and then we're down 12, and then all of a sudden we're right there. So just with 2 possessions. So.
Did you try practicing shooting? From
Yeah,
the
I did.
4-point line?
I mean, and plus with my long break of not playing basketball at all, and then me coming in, I couldn't even get to the I'm and I couldn't even get. So that that's not my thing. I'll stick to the 3, like right there on the line, and then inside.
But it's interesting, just to add some flavor to this. There is another sport. I don't know the name exactly, but you can search it. They allow, so the matting is different. So it's like basketball and wrestling together, like literally wrestling. So they take down people physically, and the floor is matting, and you don't have to dribble. So it's like, jump. What was that, jump ball?
The one with the trampoline.
The trampoline. It's something like that. The flooring, something like that. But then you get to take down players.
That's
literally.
real?
I'm not even joking. It's an actual sport. So you can search it up. And so if there are a specific type of audience that are looking for that kind of physicality, I'd probably think that suggests that's a sport that you should watch.
That's
but
dangerous.
it does exist. You can search it on the internet. Basketball and wrestling at the same time. It's funny.
I don't know if you guys watched the game the other day, but I think it was Giannis. He got dragged down from his shirt. I mean, even that looked super dangerous, and he just got pulled down. So imagine something like that. That's crazy.
And these players, again, like I said, they're expensive players. The management, the league is trying everything in their power to take care of these players. So doing damage to their bodies because of a 2-minute fight, I think that's too high of a risk for anyone. And
so
the message again, what message are you sending?
So again, it's probably not going to happen.
So 2-minute fight sessions for basketball is probably not gonna happen.
That's a no-go for us.
It's a no-no for us.
No-go for us.
Sorry, DeMarcus.
Let's go to our next topic. Who is the better freak? Is it Giannis or Wemby? So Wemby just recently beat his career high of 40 points. He made 50 points, winning against Washington, 139-130. And he becomes the first Spurs player to make at least 6 3-point shots in 3 consecutive games. Grabe mga stats nila, no? And then we have Giannis on the same night. He upped those 50 points by Wemby. So he made 59 points, winning against Detroit, 127-120.
And that was in overtime in that extra 9 points, and he really went off. But this is a good question. But I think because I heard the San Antonio Spurs commentator when Wemby made his 50th point. So Wemby wasn't supposed to make his 50-point debut in this game because they were technically up by 20 points, and then he got subbed out just to rest. But then their opponent started catching up, and the coach said, we got to bring him back. And that's when he started hitting his shots more, and then he got 50 points. But it's interesting because what the commentator said, which is I'd have to agree. He said that he's not human, he's out of this world. So I think in terms of comparison, I do have to agree that Giannis is a Greek freak.
Yes, he is a freak.
I think he is an evolved Shaquille O'Neal with his ability to just punch the ball in the basket and just his aggressiveness attacking the rim. But now he's added some mid-range and a couple of outside shooting. In that game with 59 points. But I think it's still within the bounds of what you would say very human-like. But when you look at Wemby, he's the type of player that you would mess up your create a player, my player in the NBA in 2K, and you want to play around and fool around and then maximize the height.
You make everything.
And then you have
at
like
the
Steph
top.
Curry, like 7'5" or 8
that's
footer.
Wemby. That's Wemby.
That's when you see him play, it's just like he towers so much on everyone else. But he moves like a guard. Right, and so when I was watching the game, it felt like I was watching 2K, and somebody was just messing up with my player and kind of maximizes the height, because he just moves differently, like the typical 7'3" listed 7'3" player. And so I think yes, Giannis is the Greek freak. He is a freak of nature with his extreme, probably above average human strength and the way he plays, right? And I think what's good about Giannis is I think he plays so much passion, with so much passion and so much heart, and that's kind of like his fuel, right? Every time. But Wemby, on the other hand, I think the ceiling for his potential, we have yet to see that, and he's just not normal. He's out of this world. I really think he's an alien. I don't believe in aliens, but now I may. Like, come on, MIB people out there, you probably would have to agree with me that once you see someone like Wemby, you'll probably think that's just a shell. He's an avatar. He's not really from this world. So he's not a freak. He's somebody else.
Imagine him 10 years from now.
He's gonna. I mean, he's scary already. He's gonna be way scarier. For me, I just feel like. I mean, you're right. Giannis he's like the original freak, right? And I feel like with Wemby, he one-upped. He one-upped Giannis. He's basically the better Giannis. You know, so it's crazy where the game of basketball is evolving to, because I really feel like we're the only sport that we're going to be considered the sport of giants. You know, and I mean, Wemby's basically a 7'3" guard. Kevin Durant also, and he's you know
7 feet. He's saying he's 6'11", but he's 7 feet.
I mean, imagine 10 years from now, there's going to be more Wembys. It's just going to happen. You know, so again, they're both freaks. For me, Wemby's just a better Giannis.
Can I ask a follow-up question though? Like, if that's where the trajectory of this sport is headed, where does that leave Filipinos though?
I mean, hopefully with how nature works, hopefully we also evolve.
Like,
that's what I'm hoping.
Evolution, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
I mean, we got Junmar, we've got Kai Soto, we've got
Jap.
Well, the kids of J.R. Reyes.
J.R. Reyes is big. Japeth Aguilar has kids.
Sa atin,
Greg
pag umabot
Slaughter.
ka na ng 6 foot, tangkad ka na.
I think Filipinos have to be more strategic, you know? Like, do away with love first. Like, go with the physical aspects first and attributes. Like, if you're 7 feet or 6'5" and above, find a spouse that's probably 6 feet. Like,
Cassie,
forget
can you
love.
please,
like, let's think of the future of the Filipinos when it comes to international sports. That's my opinion.
I'm going to talk to Jap's wife, Cassie. Please let Jap. You know what I mean? We need some more. Jumar too. Jumar has some kids. No, I'm just playing Cassie. No, Jap's a good boy.
Ayan. Okay, now let's go to our third topic. Let's have a quick NBA recap. So the Utah Jazz wins at home 115 against the Dallas Mavericks 113, with John Collins scoring 28 points, 10 out of 20 field goals, and 9 rebounds. And of course, we have Luka Doncic doing Luka things with 37 points, 7 boards, and 9 assists. Now, we are going to proceed with our SPN expert picks. We have 12 games tomorrow, but we're just going to choose 3 games in which Juan and Joe, they're going to take their pick on who is probably going to win against each other. So first, we have Chicago Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. So who do you guys think is gonna take this one home? Chicago won against New York, and also Cleveland comes from a win against Philadelphia.
Yeah, my top pick for this matchup would be going to the undefeated team thus far, 13-0 Cleveland. They did play against each other. So naglaro na po to. Cleveland and Chicago played against each other in November 11, just this week. And that's a game that Cleveland also won, 119 to 113. And so far, Cleveland has, Chicago has won lost its 2 out of 3. Won its 2 out of 3 games, so they're coming in hot. But they did lose in the 3-game stretch, 1 game against Cleveland. But Chicago's playing with an incomplete lineup. Lonzo Ball's not there yet. Torrey Craig is not there. Adam Masanago is not there. So. But for me, again, you're playing against the number 1 team right now with 13-0. Cleveland is number 1 in efficiency with field goal percentage with 60%. And then they're also number 1 in 3-point field goal percentage at 41%. So it's going to be a tough matchup for Chicago, so I pick Cleveland.
I was going to say the same thing. Cleveland's just playing great basketball team. team basketball.
Talk about
with
Donovan
a lot
Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. Just the overall atmosphere at Cleveland right now, I feel like they're kind of, it's crazy to say they're due, are they?
Yeah.
You know, like just, I feel for them because just after, you know, LeBron and all them leaving and stuff like that, I feel like that energy is back with this team. So, you know, I would also pick Cleveland, just like I like how they're playing.
Do you think they're gonna run out of gas eventually? Because you know that, like I mean, obviously when you're dealing with teams like LA, Golden State, and all these other teams, they're still, you know, they've played this stretch for so long that they know how to pace themselves. You know, they know when to peak. They know, like, you know, sorry, just to kind of shift. And I know it's gonna be a bit of a painful memory for you, but like, the way Jason Castro peaks at the right time every single time, right? Like he, you know,
No, it's beautiful. It was beautiful to see. I mean, we were playing against each other, but I mean, I'm still rooting for the guys that, you know, I've been battling against and with, you know, this whole time. So just to see how Jason Castro played in the finals was amazing. I mean, he's a hero of mine too. You know, just everything that he's accomplished for the country and for his team is amazing.
So do you think with Cleveland, is this too early?
Nah, I don't want to say it's too early, but the thing is that they're a young team, and you know, when playoffs hit, that experience is what is key. You know, so they're fun to watch. I'm rooting for them just because they're young and energetic. So you know, let's see what happens.
Got it.
All right, now for the next game, we have at 9 a.m. tomorrow, the Phoenix Suns go against OKC Thunder. Who's your pick?
Because Phoenix is playing without KD and Bradley Beal, I'm going with OKC for this one. They did pretty much clobber the New Orleans 106-88. Phoenix has lost 2 out of their 3 last games, so not really looking good for them. I think OKC will ride on that wave and that momentum. They are 10-2. Phoenix is 9-3. But I think just position to win, I think OKC will win.
OKC, is somebody injured for OKC?
Let me check. I think there is.
Somebody was injured for OKC. Either way, though, I mean, I would still pick OKC.
But Chet, they're depending heavily on Chet, right?
Chet, and he's injured, right? I thought he was injured. So
right now, I think he's probably day-to-day. No, there are a couple. Alex Caruso, I think, is injured. With a hip injury. Chet is, I think, hip. With injured November.
I mean, but they're still playing in OKC. I pick OKC as well.
Next up at 11 a.m., we have the Memphis Grizzlies going up against the Golden State Warriors.
I'm picking with the Warriors. You
Warriors,
have to pick Warriors.
Warriors all day.
You know, Ja has missed 3 straight games as well because of a hip injury, and I think he's a day-to-day for now. Versus the LA Lakers, they allowed LA to score 20 out of 41 3-points. So that's 41 attempts from the 3-point area, and they made 20. And you're dealing, so coming off a game against the LA and allowing them to make 23 points. And then you're playing Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, so how many threes they gonna
Exactly.
get?
I mean, they're just, Golden State right now is healthy. Steph just coming from a 36-point game against OKC and then a 37-point game against Dallas. I've called this early on in this show that I'm so, like, I was asked, like, who are my top 5 players in the NBA right now? And I said number 1, Steph. And only because I saw him play in the Olympics, and I said every time somebody plays in a national tournament, international tournament, when they come back to their local league, they're just different.
They're more,
They're just different, and so Steph right now is
his
just
level
crazy.
it seems like he leveled up, which is kind of crazy to say, right? With Steph, I'm pretty sure you guys saw that the game against Dallas. Oh my gosh. That was just such
I didn't even know that
treat.
there was some backstory behind Steph.
Right?
Ooh,
I like it. I like it.
Until Draymond spoke up about it, and he said that I think like Clay ghosted Steph.
Like Steph probably sent him a nice message like, hey, you know, I'm sorry, you know, all this, and our time together was great, but I got to bust your
Yeah,
ass.
yeah.
You know, and he didn't respond to that. So that's pretty good stuff. That's juicy. I like that.
And because Steph was caught shouting it out, like he was saying, like,
that's why you stay here. Ooh, that's tight. I love it. I can't wait for the next time they play. I'm excited.
All right. Okay. So here in SPNation, we are live on Facebook and on TikTok. So of course, we have some comments from our viewers. Let's take a look at some of the comments that we got.
We got some comments?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most probably they're gonna be directed at you because
Me?
you're our special guest. Ayan na.
Here we go.
Power Max says, Joe, what's your favorite moment with the Cone Divans Enterprise? Can you tell us about the fondest memories and funniest one with Coach Tim?
Oh,
this is good. This is good.
Nice.
I have a few funny moments. All right, I don't even know if Coach Tim knows this story, all right, guys, so I'll tell you guys. Back in my Alaska days,
He's already laughing.
he wouldn't even know. This is the first time I tell this story like in public.
There you
All
go.
right, guys,
Like
so
you heard
this
it.
is like
Guys,
exclusive right here.
You heard it first here.
Coach Tim might get mad at me. All right, so I was worse than I am now, right? Like in terms of being makulit and all that. So Coach Tim will be drawing something on the board, right? And then at first I'll be with the team here, right? Coach Tim's like drawing something, trying to, Coach Tim's a teacher. Next thing you know, I go up next to the board with Coach Tim for whatever reason. So now Coach Tim is here.
Wait, let me just say, you know how bad it is when he actually forgets why he's doing what he's doing?
No, honestly, it's like I just start moving and then something happens. You know what I mean? I lose body control. You know what I mean? So then I go up to the board and now I'm looking at the team. Right, and then it's me and Coach Tim, right? Next thing you know, we're like on the baseline, right? And while he's talking, drawing up the thing, and then I'm holding on to the board, and then every time Coach Tim looks at the team, I'm like moving the board, right? And so next thing, we start at the baseline, and then we end all the way at half court. And Coach Tim had no idea. He was so locked into the play. Back then it was all triangle too, so he was locked in.
No one was laughing from the team.
No, the team was laughing. So I mean, but what's crazy is I don't know what made me do that. I have no idea, guys. Oh my God. So I don't know if Coach Tim's gonna see this or not. Hopefully he won't. Because I might see him soon, so.
That's probably a shared memory with other men.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many. We have tons. No, he didn't. No, I don't know why I do this, guys. I have no idea.
So I have a strong feeling, Joe, that this is not just like a one-time thing. You probably
I have a lot.
A bunch of stories to tell.
I have a lot of stories.
I can't imagine the boards moving.
I have a lot.
And for you,
baseline.
This is what makes it so funny. Like, do you imagine him doing this to the winningest coach in the PBA? You gotta be kidding me, right?
How many championships were you at
only
during
Joe
that time?
Divans can do something
I think
like
at
this,
that
right?
time, I don't even think it was won yet. No, I don't even think I won yet. So imagine that.
You were a rookie.
I was maybe like second year, third year in the league, something like that.
Something you would do.
Oh my God. It was me and Willie Miller there. Imagine that.
We should have a show with
I'm
you
sure
guys.
you've heard Willie Miller's stories. Oh my God.
We should have a show with both of them on this panel. That would be crazy.
I was the funny guy. Willie was funny, but he was also crazy. You know.
Yeah.
So I have tons of story, guys. Tons.
All right, let's go to our next comment. Okay, JDV was one of the most bait player on and off the court. Yes, I agree. I want to ask if you'll still play for Ginebra next conference. Probably after that story, not anymore.
I know, right?
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
Coach Tim might not
We
want me
miss
back.
you. Hope you'll be a player assistant coach.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, dropping dimes. That's what I do too. I drop dimes.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, as of right now, Coach Tim, we haven't like formally talked, but he kind of asked me if I wanted to play next conference.
What's your answer?
Yeah, well, like any husband, let me ask my wife first.
Smart man.
Right? See,
Smart man.
I learned a few
Smart man.
things. You know what I mean? I learned a few things. You know what I'm saying? You know. So, but yeah, it's nothing final yet. Coach Tim has a lot to focus on with the national team and all that stuff too. So I'm hoping I can actually meet him and just kind of help him out. I know they're running a triangle and all that stuff. So that'll be a pretty cool experience. But as of right now, I have no idea if I'm coming back. I have no idea. It would be cool though. It would be. If I can get 13 championships, that would be crazy.
Wow.
Almost though.
That.
Almost though.
I almost had it. I almost had it, Talking Tex.
big.
Almost had it, Talking Tex. Almost had it, Talking Tex.
I mean, that's more reason for you to come back, right?
Yeah.
You gotta
As an
chase after that
assistant
13
coach,
chip.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Being part of
Player
the coaching
assistant.
staff.
Yeah, I mean, being a coach out here would be a little different for me, just because I wouldn't want to be away from my kids for that long. And my kids are thriving so much in the States. I don't know if you guys know this. One of my kids' trainers is the Guard Whisperer. He actually trains Shay, Keontae, George. He's based out of Los Angeles. The Guard Whisperer. You don't have that name for nothing.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it would be hard for me to actually coach out here, and then my family's in the States and all, so I mean, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You never thought you'd come back.
And we can fly him, right? The
Yeah, I
coach,
was done.
the guard whisperer, we can
Oh
fly
shoot,
him.
that'd be hey, he would love to be out here actually. He might pop up. So let's see.
We'll
That'd be
see,
cool.
we'll see. Next comment. Wemby ain't human. We haven't seen his pure potential. He'll dominate the NBA soon.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of that statement.
Well, I mean, I would like to change it. It says he'll dominate the NBA soon. I mean, he just had 50, right?
Yeah, he's dominating.
So I would say he was,
And I've always said that having Chris Paul in the lineup was just gonna expedite that growth, right? Like that's gonna speed up.
I feel like that's the best thing that happened to Wemby was to get Chris Paul on.
Yeah, but I do agree. I think he's an avatar. He doesn't belong here. He's just visiting. And then after his NBA stint, I think he'll go back to his planet.
He's gonna move
he'll go
back
back to his planet.
wherever he's from.
All right. Do we still have some comments? Okay, last comment. Pag lumaki pa katawan ni Wemby, yan talaga freak na freak.
Can I read this?
He's gonna bulk up.
Let me read this.
Yeah.
Okay, go. Read it.
Here you go. CJ, this is a great question, by the way, okay? Here we go. Y'all ready? Pag lumaki.
Lumaki.
Pag lumaki. Pag katawan ni Wemby. Yan talaga freak na freak. How's that?
That was good.
That was good?
Perfect.
There you go.
They all understood
There you
what
go.
you said.
Joe, you gotta come back to the Philippines. I think we didn't do you justice, and your Filipino still has a lot of work to do. I think that's gonna be your primary reason for coming back, bro.
I got to.
Do you eat Filipino food?
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite foods. I grew up.
Yeah.
I bet your post meals are in Filipino food also.
I mean, I don't know if bacon salog is a Filipino food, but that's my breakfast of champions. Everybody knows that. Bacon salog. Is that Filipino? I don't know.
I mean, by name, I think it is.
Right?
Yeah,
You say
kinda,
bacon salog,
kinda,
right?
yeah.
AKA breakfast of champions. You know what I mean?
Alright.
So,
Ayan. Those were the topics that we covered for today. We talked about having 2-minute fight sessions. This one is definitely a no-no for us. Who is the better freak? Is it Giannis or Wemby? Definitely both of them are freaks. It's just that Wemby is just the younger freak that still has more freak in him to come out.
Get your freak on.
Get your freak on.
That boy freaky with it.
And of course, we also took our picks for 3 games tomorrow. So for Chicago against Cleveland, of course, we pick Cleveland undefeated. We also have Phoenix going against OKC. They chose OKC. And of course, we have Memphis going up against the Golden State Warriors. We choose
Golden State.
Golden State
Yeah.
with Stephen Curry. All right, so I guess that wraps up our episode. Once again, thank you so much, guys, for joining us in today's episode. Are you ready to elevate your sports experience? Then dive into the world of live sports like no other. So you have to join us and register at Sports Plus PH. We are also live on our social media accounts. Please don't forget to give us a follow on Facebook and on TikTok as well. That's at Sports Plus PH. Once again, thank you so much for joining us in tonight's episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Once again,
There
this
you go.
is SPNation Season
Go do
2.
that. Go do that thing. There you go.
And that's
There
a
you go.
wrap.
We've been wanting to do that.
I've always been wanting to do this,
all
guys.
night.
And that's a wrap.
Bye, guys.
I was like on that last straw, and then I got the chance in the Philippines, and then I kind of guess my back was on the wall, and it just felt like I got to make this work.